Hey everybody, glad to be bringing you another video review of an action figure that is not G.I. Joe. That's right, we are going to go off the beaten path today, and instead of G.I. Joe, we are going to talk about McFarlane Toys. Now, I've never done a McFarlane Toys review before, but I think this toy warrants it because it caught my eye when I first heard about it. I found it at my local hobby store today, and that figure is none other than the Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn action figure. Let's talk about it. So yeah, I was at my local toy hobby shop today and was just checking things out like I normally do on the weekends when I have the opportunity. And yeah, I knew this figure was coming out, but I didn't know it was already out. I thought it was, for whatever reason, I thought it was further down the pipe. But I saw it and I'm very excited for it. I love Mortal Kombat. I love Spawn. And of course, they've given us some Spawn figures already from the Mortal Kombat 11 game. There's been quite a few made because they pretty much make one and then repaint it and repaint it and repaint it. But this one's different. So we're going to break it out of the plastic prison here in a second and talk about it. If you're interested, it's available, I think, everywhere. I think you can pick it up in stores. You can pick it up at Amazon. You can pick up your favorite local hobby dealer. But enough of me talking. Let's break into this and talk about it. Okay, we have the Mortal Kombat 11 by McFarlane Toys, Shadow of Spawn. Now, the first thing I thought of when I saw this was, I don't know why they call it Shadow of Spawn. And so I got home, did a quick Google search, and I was like, okay, Shadow of Spawn is nothing more than what this skin is called in the Mortal Kombat 11 game. Now, I own Mortal Kombat 11. I have not played it in a very long time, and I do not remember this skin being available, so it must have been some DLC that I didn't have, but I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a near perfect representation rather, of the classic Spawn. But I'm not sure why they went with Shadow of Spawn. Maybe it's because obviously in the Mortal Kombat game, he looks a little bit different. If you're familiar with that game, his suit looks more organic, not so smooth. So yeah, this is what the packaging looks like. It's the standard McFarlane Toys packaging for the Mortal Kombat with the black logo over the gold box, Shadow of Spawn at the bottom, Mortal Kombat 11. And on the back, surprisingly, we have a picture of Scorpion. Not sure what that means. We've got 22 moving parts. Hashtag McFarlane Toys, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And on the side, we have Mortal Kombat, or the Mortal Kombat logo, rather, and Scorpion. So kind of surprising not to see Spawn's picture on there, but maybe that's how they do it now. Drop me a comment and let me know if that's just kind of the standard packaging design. Might be a way that McFarlane Toys is able to save some money when they put these things out, if you just use the same box versus putting a different picture of the character on every single one. But let's break this guy out and start talking about it. Okay, wow, that was a lot of work to get him out of the package. They had him locked in tight. So yeah, the first thing you notice, obviously, it's the classic Spawn look. Very smooth. My assumption is that this is all new. At least the legs and the arms and the chest and the torso, because I believe, and I'll show it here in a few moments, the first Spawn figure that came out, or one of the first Spawn figures that came out for the Mortal Kombat 11 line. But it is, otherwise, the cape seems to be the same cape. But yeah, it's your typical Mortal Kombat figure with those multiple points. Ooh. Okay, anybody else see that? Is that normal? Interesting. It's like a floating hinge. I've never actually noticed that it moves a little bit. So yeah, you got your elbow bends, you got your wrist, both elbows, arms, legs, double jointed knees, ankles, on a rocker. This one bends as well. Got the toe bend as well. Classic McFarlane toe bend. And yeah, it's a nice figure. This is what I think of when I think of Spawn. I mean, you don't get much better than that. I think if you were, I think the only better Spawn you could probably get right now, to be honest, is the The one that was funded through the Kickstarter for McFarlane Toys. I did have that at one point, but that would not be cheap to get. I think that's probably around $300 for that set, somewhere in there. I believe that one has much more articulation, but if you want to get one at a good price point, this is going to be your guy. I am very excited for this. He does come with 2 accessories, by the way. These guys, this was the most difficult part, was getting these guys out of the package, because they were locked down at about 4 different spots, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each one of them was locked down, so it was a lot of clipping. But if you're curious, I thought you could just put these in his hand, which you can, but they do have these pegs. And I noticed when I was taking the figure out, there are 2 pegs on the back of Spawn, right there. And you can plug these in, and I don't think there's a wrong way. You can just simply plug them in. See if I can get that other one in. This cape kind of hinders you, not a whole lot, but a little bit. So you can plug them in, and then, you can make them doing that Spawny thing, right? That thing Spawn does, where chains and stuff just wrap around him. Obviously, I'm not doing a great job, having just gotten it out of the package. So yeah, you could make him, I love how the eyes pop off of him. The green, they do so well making that green just pop, like it's luminous, but it's not. It just looks like it's glowing, but man, it looks so damn good. So yeah, there is Spawn. That's really all there is to it. It's a typical McFarlane figure. I think it's 25 bucks, something like that. But if you want a Spawn in your collection, which I always want to have a Spawn in my collection, now this is going to be my guy. Now, for the sake of, let's compare him to one of the first Mortal Kombat Spawns that came out, which was this guy. I think this was the second version, because I believe the first version came with maybe a sword. And so yeah, so right away you can clearly see the difference between the smooth body on this Spawn and the more organic looking body with the Mortal Kombat 11 version of Spawn. Clear all the way from the head to the torso that they completely redid it with this new one. So, hats off to McFarlane for making a completely new body. They like to save money, and I understand it. We were talking about with the box art earlier, but they did a really good job of, bringing this up to a classic feeling Spawn. But otherwise, the cape's the same. It's not, the new one doesn't have the wash that the old one does. It's just all red versus the black and red. But I think if you had the opportunity, also the belts are the same. This one's just a clean look. Everything's nice and silver versus kind of the dirt and grime on this guy. But I tell you what, if you really wanted to, you could probably swap the capes and the belts probably even, and do a, make your own Spawn, choose your own adventure kind of thing. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to wind up displaying his Warhammer or mace, whatever you want to call it. I also have the white Spawn, and he comes with the axe. I might actually give that to this Spawn, but for now, let's just confirm that he can hold something, because he doesn't come with any weapons other than these 2 chains. So I just want to make sure we can get that. I'm sure I can. With a little bit of, get in there. The fingers are very flexible, so you don't have to worry about breaking anything. You can see it's flexible plastic. So yeah, look at that. You could easily give him another Spawn's weapon. One thing, if I had any complaints about this figure, I wish that he came with an alternate set of hands. I love having a fisted hand. I do not love having a I wish I had always have 2 fisted hands and 2 gripping, holding hands. I think that should just be a standard if you're going to make an action figure, for adult collectors especially. We like to pose things, put them in different positions, so I would really like to see that. But yeah, so this is Spawn. He is looking badass. I'm glad to have him in my collection. What do you guys think? If you see him, you're going to pick him up. Do you already have a Spawn? Don't need another one? How's this gel for you guys? I think it's awesome. I think the price point's great on McFarlane figures. So I'm going to give this one a thumbs up. And if you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more G.I. Joe reviews, Masters of the Universe reviews, Marvel Legends potentially. Heck, who knows? I might go to my hobby store next week and find something completely off the rails and buy it and do a review on it. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will talk to you soon. Later.